Hi. So today we're going to do word of the day. I know that I skipped yesterday, so I'm going to try and do one for today and then a different word for yesterday. So today's word of the day for December 20th, 2018 is frenetic. Frenetic is marked by excitement, disorder, or anxiety-driven activity, frenzied or frantic. So basically the word itself means to be in a frenzy or be in task of a frenzied activity or very anxious about an activity or certain event. So basically, the let's see, root of the word in discrimination for the word to be used in a sentence to describe someone would be, let's see, the word frenetic back through Anglo-French and Latin comes from the Greek word phrenitis, a term describing an inflammation of the brain. Phren, the Greek word for mind, phrenitis, yeah, something like that. Yeah, phrenitis, there we go. Is a root you will recognize in schizophrenia. As for frenzied and a frantic, there are only synonyms, and they're not only synonyms of frenetic, but relatives as well. Frantic comes from frenetic. Frenzied traces back to phrenitis. So basically, it's describing one trait of a schizophrenic person. They would have very frenzied behavior, very frenetic behavior, um, sort of spaced out or scattered, chaotic in that regard. I think that in some ways that the word does apply to our current state of being, but we're going to skip this word, go to the next one. Let's see. Let's just do a different word. Let's see what we can define today. Well, since I can't really find a word of the day for yesterday, what I'm going to do for yesterday is pernicious. Now, the word pernicious is an adjective used to describe a person's behavior or activity. The word itself is defined as to mean adverse, bad, baleful, baneful, damaging, dangerous, deleterious, detrimental, evil, harmful, hurtful, ill, injurious, mischievous, noxious, or innocuous. No, yeah, noxious and innocuous, prejudicial, wicked. And that's it for the synonyms. The antonyms for this one is anodyne, benign, harmless, hurtless, innocent, innocuous, inoffensive, safe. That's the meaning the opposite. So words that are similar, defined by synonyms, or other words you can use for the same or in place of. You can use pernicious also in this regard in place of any of these other words: adverse, bad, baleful, baneful, damaging, dangerous, deleterious, detrimental, evil, harmful, hurtful, ill, injurious, mischievous, innocuous, noxious, prejudicial, and wicked. Now, that was for the 19th. Since I skipped yesterday, I wanted to do two words today. One for, well, of course, yesterday, and one for today. Today, the word was frenetic, meaning frenzied or frantic. Also used as another word, as a synonym for, similarly described behavior otherwise observed in schizophrenic people. So you can see that they're very frenzied about their behavior, or they have very frantic attitudes. So therefore, you can use frenetic in the same way. The word pernicious we use for the 19th is a synonym for adverse, bad, baleful, painful, and so on, etc. If you want other words to use for that, I would say that pernicious behavior is also a very slow and very slow and adverse behavior, or innocuous, almost in a way you can't really notice pernicious behavior off the bat. It takes a moment for that to sneak in. So when someone uses pernicious as a sentence or in a sentence towards someone else, their behavior is insidious or basically terrible, then you would say their goals are pernicious. That's the proper way to use the word in a sentence phrase to describe someone's goals or their activity seem pernicious. It's not something that you would really use to describe someone that's just being rough and gruff, I guess, but bad more or less with ill intention or malice. Good words to use there also for those particular behavioral anomalies. Now, getting away from word of the day, that will be the end of this episode. And I do want to thank you guys for stopping in and having another word of the day with me. And again, this is Rayne. You guys have a great one. Thanks again.